前2天啊，哈佛女孩蒋雨融的毕业演讲几乎在海内外都遭到了全网批评。但是这2天呢，同样是一位华人的哥大毕业生 Andrew Yang 的毕业演讲，却用理工男特有的真诚、可爱和硬实力，得到了海内外全网的一致好评。不仅啊让在场的毕业生笑中带泪，掌声持久，同时也爆火出圈，冲上热搜。我在视频的最后啊附上了演讲的中英文双字幕的完整版，大家可以收藏反复观看，因为无论是英语学习还是人生成长，都会非常受益。同样是华人啊，同样是美国名校毕业生 Andrew Yang 的毕业演讲之所以受到如此多的好评，在我看来啊，底层逻辑主要有2点原因。第一啊，就是这孩子绝对硬核，是个真学霸。他是2025届哥伦比亚大学毕业生中绩点最高的学生，学的是应用物理和应用数学的双学位，也是今年应用物理学院奖的获得者。他最大的兴趣啊，就是将物理、数学和计算机结合起来，解决更重要的科学问题。研究方向呢也非常广泛，从设计人工智能模型啊，到和应用数学教授一起研究复杂的数学结构，甚至会去开发新方法和程序，用来更快速的分析材料结构的变化。而且大学4年期间呢，还经常参与教学工作，比如说帮助高中生做3D 模型啊，带哥大的学生学习动力系统和机器学习啊。大家要知道啊，他可是本科生啊，大概率还不到23岁，这可太让人服气了。毕业之后啊 ，Andrew 将会前往加州理工学院继续深造。我衷心的祝福他拥有更加美好的未来。第二啊，就是这孩子率真可爱，拥有理工男特有的幽默和浪漫，而且非常的真实，完全不做作。相比于哈佛蒋小姐的演讲啊，他没有装腔作势的表演范儿，也没有假大空虚的宏大叙事，没有假哽咽，也没有努力的煽情，全程硬实力和真性情的自然输出啊，真的是碾压精英主义的人设秀。不仅有聪明的头脑，同时有有趣的灵魂。当然啊，我没有在网上找到信息说明 Andrew 到底是美国的本土华裔还是留学生，但是呢，他在演讲中确实讲了一句流利地道的中文词儿，大家可以自己去找找答案。好了啊，我就不多废话了，我们一起来欣赏这篇注定会成为经典的毕业演讲。
Highest honor awarded to an engineering graduate is given to our valedictorian, the student with the highest grade point average. The Illig Prize is awarded by the faculty to Andrew Yang for commendable proficiency in their studies. Let's applaud. Come on over here and we'll do that. So a double major in physics and applied math. Andrew is also the recipient of this year's Applied Physics Faculty Award. His interest lies in the intersection between physics, mathematics, and computation. His research direction has swung wildly from designing long short-term memory neural networks to searching for periodic signature structures with Zhuanan Li, Chu Assistant Professor of Applied Mathematics. The majority of his work has been with Simon Billinge, Professor of Material Science and Professor of Applied Physics and Applied Math, on designing fast techniques and programs to probe changes in material structure from high-throughput diffraction data. We're still going. He and Billinge have taken these techniques to beamlines in 3 continents. Andrew enjoys discussing his work and was the first undergraduate to speak at a Bruker AXS MIT symposium. He'll continue his exploration of material structures and behaviors through neutron diffraction and machine learning of interatomic potentials at Caltech. Please help me congratulate and welcome to the podium for remarks this year's recipient of the Illig Prize and valedictorian of the class of 2025, Andrew Yang.
So, thank you, Dean Morrison. Every good ceremony places its best speeches at the beginning and at the end, which is why I'm speaking in the middle of class day. And to be honest, that's fair. When I look at this crowd, I see students pioneering clean energy, ridding plastic from our oceans. We have a real-life Stark Labs featured recently in a Veritasium video. Students using machine learning to explore the quantum world and working with NASA to launch a freaking satellite into space. Despite all of these amazing people who could be up here today, they choose the dork with the Among Us keychain that you've probably never seen outside of class. For those of you who've had me as a TA, though, watching me yap up here probably isn't strange. You know I love lecturing and could very well spend the next 45 minutes glazing Euclidean distance matrices. But the best part about teaching here at Columbia is seeing how we all interact so differently with the same material. And I think this is representative of Columbia as a whole. Now, don't fact check me, but not only does our class represent all 50 states, we represent almost half the countries. We come from the biggest cities to the smallest towns. And a fifth of us are the first in our families to even attend, let alone graduate, university. Yeah, very impressive. Yet together, as one class, we struggled through introductory physics, bared through the insane heat waves in our dorms, pulled all-nighters to finish our Art of Engineering projects, and spent hours in Butler figuring out how to add just one more page to our music comm essays. All right, so I want to share a bit about my background and how it shaped my perspective here. Now I know we're all excited to graduate and finally be free of classes, but unfortunately, I'm going to put you through one last lecture. All right, so my research, it's all about how materials look on the nanoscale. So current microscopes aren't powerful enough to see the individual atom, so we have to be a little more creative, and we shine lasers on them. So it's kind of like when you shine a laser on a mirror, and the direction the laser bounces tells you the angle the mirror is oriented. But no real-world mirror is perfectly smooth. So if you turn off the lights and use a strong enough laser, you can see not only a bright dot where the reflected light lands, but also small fluctuations in light. These minute ripples tell us what atoms compose our mirror and where the defects are. The tiniest waves are the most important. Waving hi in orientation week to some of your now closest friends. Tearful waves goodbye to your family after convocation, who have hopefully rejoined you on this day. Shout out to my mom, dad, my yaya, my nainai, and my sister Annie, who's just starting high school. Yeah. No pressure. All right. Sound waves from applause at our amazing performers in Learner, from waving flags to wavy tides at the free kayaking sessions downtown. We make these waves every day from the interactions and time we spend with each other. In 1807, Joseph Fourier showed how waves can combine to form beautiful functions. Our interactions combine to form this beautiful community. When you think back at the time you spent here, what's going to stick with you? Well, sure, the horrors of a machine learning midterm are probably never going to leave you, but I'm certain it's also filled with unplanned urban explorations, watching sunsets on the Brooklyn Bridge, losing 4 buy-ins and 5 hands of Hold'em, and making an Among Us-shaped candle for White Elephant. All of these with friends by your side. While we have some of the most rigorous courses, access to lucrative internships, and the best research laboratories, what really makes us us is our commitment to each other. After all, our slogan is not just engineering, but engineering for humanity. And Columbia engineers are particularly well-versed in the humanities. So I'm going to Caltech for my PhD. Shout out to Brent's lab, who are hopefully on live right now. Yeah! And when I went to visit LA, I got lost late at night looking for Union Station. And I asked a stranger at the bus stop for directions and ended up sitting next to him on the bus. We chatted a bit before our conversation turned to syllogisms and the Nicomachean ethics. And he was impressed that Columbia taught us so well about Aristotle that he offered to take me out for dinner. And while sure, I could have ended up without my kidneys in an ice bath, it turns out he was a former sociology professor, and we engaged in one of my most exciting debates about what it means to belong somewhere. All because I went, screw it, I'm in. Which brings me to my final point, the importance of taking risks, of splashing through the ripples of uncertainty. While this mindset has led to unpleasant situations, like being detained in Japan during midterms week and Googling symptoms of beaver fever after drinking water from a creek, hear me out, I wanted to try the cold spring up at Cold Springs, so yeah. Don't do it. But taking these risks has also allowed me to explore amazing physics across the Pacific Ocean, become the first undergraduate speaker for the Bruker MIT Symposium, and wear a video game costume for a graduation speech. Well, thank you. One more. Oh, despite all of this, now more than ever, it feels difficult to take risks, especially when it feels like the whole world is watching and there's always something we can lose. Despite this, I'm confident our class is exclusively qualified to overcome any hardship. During our NSOP, our campus flooded from the rain, but rather than hiding away, we brought out a boat and sea of thieves our way outside of John Jay. We survived a pandemic, stood with our families abroad, and braved events other students may never face in their lives. We even spent a good portion of college without generative AI. Isn't it crazy? We started our journey without Claude or Perplexity, and now LLMs have dominated our... Oh, sorry, GPT says I'm out of free credits, so I guess I have to close things off. Yeah. We came here maybe unknowing about what the future would hold, and definitely not knowing what these 4 years would bring. But we made it. With the invaluable supports of our friends and family, after weathering so many tides, we've made it to the crest of our college careers. Look among us, class of 2025. We are C's, and we're going to make waves. Congratulations. All right, clap a little longer so I can put my robe back on. Thank you, class. Best class ever in the university. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that's enough. All right. Thank you so much. Sorry for the cheesy send-off, but if you wanted a professional speaker, you would have looked in the college. Now, I'd like to invite Reed Ellison, class of 2008, and president of the Columbia Engineering Alumni Association, to the podium. All right.